We're talking about the 5 pillars first.
Yeah.
The Shahada. There's none worthy of worship besides Allah, and Muhammad is a messenger of God. We all accept that. Salah, we all accept that there is Salah. There are 5 Salahs. Zakat, obligatory charity, we all accept. Saum, fasting, we all accept. Hajj in the month of Dhul Hijjah and to Makkah, we all accept.
Yeah.
The Quran, we all accept. The prophets, we all accept. The angels, we all accept. The holy books that were revealed from God, we all accept. What you're talking about are not things that take you out of the fold of Islam. For example, Eid. If a person celebrates Eid on one
On a
day or
different
the
day.
other day, yeah, it doesn't take you out of the fold
no,
of Islam.
because
It's just
not-
a celebration, isn't it? You can do the celebration of your child's birthday on February
But
the
it's
1st
actually
or the 2nd. It doesn't make any difference.
It's a sinful thing to fast on the day of the Eid.
But
you know
does
that.
it take you out of the fold?
It does, huh?
They say it.
They
but
say it.
No,
Yes,
no,
it
no, no,
does.
not necessarily. Because the opinion is that if you, according to your research, you believe that it is Ramadan today, even if somebody else is doing Eid, that's fine. You're not going to be held responsible for that because you have done your ijtihad. There is a backing for it. So what you're talking about Salah, let's look at the Salah of the Shias and the
Yes.
Sunnis then, yeah? Do
They
both of them do qiyam, standing up?
Yeah, they do it. They
Do
it.
both of them do ruku,
Yes,
bowing?
yes.
Do both of them do prostration? Yes. Do
They
both
do.
of them do jalsa in between prostration, sitting down?
Yes, they do.
Do both of them read tashahhud?
Yes.
Do both of them do surah Fatiha?
Yes, they
Do
have to.
both of them recite from the Quran that both of them accept?
Yes.
Yes.
But
Then
when they complete the prayers, they don't turn left and right.
Where do they turn?
They don't. They tap their feet 3 times.
No problem.
Oh, no problem. Okay, and also they combine.
And when I say no
they
problem,
combine Asr prayer and lunch prayers together.
yeah, even amongst the Sunnis,
Yeah.
combination is.
They do also
is-
combination in the evenings as well.
But does
And when they
does
recite
combining
the
prayer does
prayers-
combining prayer take you out of the fold of Islam?
No.
Well,
Does
it-
tapping your feet 3 times does
Yeah.
that take you out of the fold of Islam? No, it doesn't.
What
So
about
let's
when-
come back to the main question. Yeah, we've already established that. So, my name is Zeeshan, by the way. What's your name?
Nice to see Jeremy.
Jeremy. Yeah, I think we had a nice conversation last time. So Jeremy, last time, I don't remember your answer. Do you believe in God?
I've turned my back on God.
Turned your back.
Yes.
But you.
So
but,
I am in your eyes a kafir.
But then, or a goyim in the eyes of the Jews, or a disbeliever in the eyes
Disbeliever, or
of
an
the Christian.
atheist.
So when you say you turned your back on God, that presupposes there is a God.
According to religion, yes. According
Do you
to
believe that
religion-
Do you believe that there is a God?
No, I don't believe there is a God.
But if you've turned your back to God, doesn't that presuppose there is a God?
But you know,
For you to turn it back to.
religiously, I mean, you guys all believe in God, which you can't see or you can't speak to, or you think you can speak to him, but he doesn't never answers back.
No problem.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he never answers
So
back.
then, from your perspective,
mystery God.
He actually does. So from your perspective,
he
then,
answers back.
of course, 100%.
Can you tell me how? So when you speak to God,
Yeah,
how does he
yeah.
answer back to you?
Yeah, I can tell you. So just because you don't understand the language that the other part, for example, when your dog barks back at you, it doesn't mean that he's not responding to you. It means there's a different form of communication.
Yeah.
Now, a dog whistle, you don't hear that. Does that mean that the dog whistle, the sound doesn't exist?
I don't hear a whale whistle under the water. You know, there's a lot of
Exactly.
things I don't
Does it mean that it
You
doesn't
can't see
exist?
infrared light.
Precisely. Does it mean they don't exist?
It does exist, but the thing is,
There you go.
if you look at science, where does he exist? I mean, you got to say where. You
Where
know,
does science exist?
Where in the universe does he exist?
Oh, science.
Yeah.
Why is that the measure?
Because 1 + 1 = 2. You know, you have a you know, you have a.
That's maths. That's not
yeah,
science.
Yeah, well,
And
then
science
you,
can't
you
prove
have
maths.
gravity.
Science can't prove maths.
No, it can't. No. No. So all the math.
So why are you using maths to prove science?
Because that's part of a science, overall science, overall.
Not necessarily.
Am I right?
No,
Okay.
you're wrong.
People tell you.
No, you're wrong. Because maths has a relationship with science. However, scientists can't prove
So what
the
about
validity of
physics?
maths.
Is that
Physics,
science?
Yeah, that's science.
Science and.
So do you see? So coming back to that
So
point.
gravity, yeah, go on.
Yeah. So you're saying science needs to be that measure. Why is science the measure?
Because everything, our life is measured by science and
Does
maths.
science tell you if something is right or wrong?
Yes, medically, yes.
Right or wrong?
Yeah, yeah.
So if I put
if
so if
you
I put
under a
something
scan,
so if I put something under a microscope, it will science can tell me if it's right or wrong.
if it's a cell, if it's a cancer cell, yeah,
So if I put a cancer cell
Yeah, cancer
under
cell.
a microscope, can science tell me if it's right or wrong?
yeah. If you're, I mean, what's the point of having the radiology?
So
I mean,
define right or wrong.
Have you ever been to a doctor?
Define when a cancer is put. I have.
Yes.
So when a cancer is put underneath a microscope, when is a cancer cell wrong?
If it doesn't look normal, that's why you have a
No,
radiologist, oncologist.
No, you're talking about
and
the
the-
you're
yeah.
talking about the identification of a cancer cell.
Identification.
I'm talking about morality. If something is right or wrong, good or bad.
Okay.
Let's stick with good or bad.
Does that tree have morality?
No,
No.
that tree doesn't have morality that we know of. What does that mean?
So what does that? What are you saying about a cell, a cancer cell, under the microscope?
What I'm telling
I mean,
what I'm telling you is morality cannot be measured under a microscope. That's why even the likes of Einstein said morality is not something within the realms of science. That's why I'm really interested how you are bringing morality into science when even the greatest scientists have discarded this point. So I want to hear more about
morality,
this.
what about termination of life? You know, that they're now debating. You know,
Exactly.
if you're too sick, you know, you can make a decision to end your life. No,
So-
not under Islam. Of course, all the Muslim MPs opposed to it. But I mean, you know,
But that doesn't answer my point, which is how does science talk about morality? This isn't science talking about morality. This is people giving their opinions about something.
science is more black and white than morality. It is more black and white.
But does
It's all
science
more proven.
does science tell you if something is good and bad? Let's stick with that. Does science tell you if something is good or bad?
Science doesn't have a voice.
So using science,
Does science have a voice?
using science, can I determine if you are good or bad?
Yes, you can.
How?
If they put you on some sort of a brain detecting machine,
Right.
and then they ask you a set of questions, you don't have to answer them. Your chemicals in your brain will tell whoever the scientist or whoever the doctor is that how you're reacting to that.
That doesn't.
It does.
How you reacting to something
the
doesn't make it right
chemicals
or
in
wrong.
your brain. Look, you're all about chemicals.
Yeah. So if I react to something in a positive way, for example,
Stimulating. Yeah.
yeah, for example, a person will gain pleasure from having intercourse with an
Yeah,
animal.
yeah.
They put that under a brain scan,
Yeah.
and because he's elated, does it now mean, according to your worldview, that that is good and that's correct?
Oh, that's not correct, but.
But you said according to your
there's
criteria,
an
that's correct.
Analysis.
But according to that analysis, he enjoyed himself, then it's correct.
No, you asked a question. You said to me, "Can science be?
Can science
be
determine
right
if something is right or wrong?
Science is a study of fact. It's a study of fact.
Not really.
You see? Of course it is.
Give
So
me
what?
one scientific fact.
So you've got John. What do you call that telescope up in the air? That
It's
is
not John.
It's the James Webb Telescope. Yeah, it's discovering all new galaxies. It's discovering where time began. Do you dispute that? I mean,
Do I dispute that?
They can go back to when the Earth was born. I mean, that's
they can
before-
go to that
yes,
place.
Yes, they can. Yeah,
Or-
because it looks right inside.
Or can they
the-
project the data to that
they,
time?
They can go back. They can travel. They can travel in time to see how the other ancient galaxies.
So you're saying
formed.
there's time travel?
There is, effectively there will be time travel.
No, you're saying there is time travel. They can go back in time.
They can. They're going back in time. So every.
So there's
star
time travel?
Yeah. So don't you watch Brian Cox's programs on
Brian
TV?
who?
Brian Cox, the professor.
Brian what?
Yeah, Brian Cox.
Okay.
Yeah, you can Google it.
So you're saying Brian Cox time travels?
Is it Cork, isn't it?
Yeah, he travels. You know,
He travels back in time.
4.5 billion years ago.
Is he Doctor Who?
Well, maybe he
Yeah,
just
that's
tells you
true.
what happened 4.5
No.
billion. So are you telling me how old are Adam and Eve? How old is Adam and Eve? How old is the Quran?
That's a side point.
How old
Coming
is-
back to this point of time travel,
1,430
I'll tell you
years
because I've
old.
looked into the science. Yeah, science doesn't take you back in time. What science does is there's certain things called the red light shift or red shift, and you can tell from when the light reaches us. We can project using the data. This may have happened
30 years
based.
ago, 40 years, 100 years ago.
No, a
Or more.
billion,
Billion years
a billion years ago, yeah. They can project
Was
that
Allah
according
around then?
that, of course,
Really?
yeah.
So
But
where were you guys?
one second. So you're saying when it comes to time travel, you're conflating time travel with us projecting the data that we have and the analysis that we have and having an understanding. Do you believe this understanding can change tomorrow? Our understanding of the data?
Yeah, because the theory of relativity can. I mean that you know.
What?
That can change.
That can change.
Yeah,
Do you believe evolution can change?
Because that, what's his name? That scientist who was disabled.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, Stephen Hawking. You know, he was the one. He was a master. He never believed in God.
So you believe science can change?
They asked him. They said, "Do you believe in God?" He said, "No."
Do you believe science can
It
change?
can change, yeah.
Then how is it fact?
But by progress, by new research.
So it's not
by
fact then, is
discovering
it?
new species. I mean, it always changes.
It's a changing model then, right?
It's changing, yeah.
Then why did you say fact?
Right now, it's 1 + 1 is 2.
But that's maths.
Yeah, that's maths.
That's not science.
It's not rocket science, no.
Well, definitely not. That's
not rocket
mathematics.
science, yeah.
1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, you got a serious problem in the Islamic world, whereby
We'll get to the problems here, but first I want to understand. I,
No, I think.
I want to understand your. I want to understand your worldview first, yeah.
Well, no,
So-
there's a lot of women after compensation from.
So
Muhammad
your
al-Fayed,
so your worldview.
including Diana.
So according to your worldview, does whatever science
Yes.
say, whatever science says, is that fact?
Whatever science says is a fact.
Whatever. So 100.
So what's the point of studying science then?
So
We might
100
as well
100
just chuck
odd.
it out on the curriculum and study the Quran.
No,
instead.
because it's a developmental understanding of our current reality.
I mean, when
it
you
doesn't.
went to school, did you study physics, mathematics?
We did, but in
okay.
physics they told me Pluto was a planet. Now they've decided Pluto's not a planet. So science continuously changes. 100 odd years ago there was something called the steady state theory.
Yes,
Are you aware of
days,
that?
Yes, yes.
Are you aware that there was such thing called the steady state model, that they didn't believe in the Big Bang and Einstein was amongst them? Do you believe that? Well, are you aware of that
So
rather?
yeah, well,
But now it's
science
changed.
is open to interpretation,
Okay, so it's not fact then.
and it's not a religion. Yeah.
So it's not fact then. It's not fact then, right? Then
So
Then why should we use-
your
one
studies
second,
as a
one
sci-
second.
When you studied science at school, it was a waste of time.
no,
You
because
didn't learn anything.
Because I've already told you science is developmental, it's not written in concrete. That's the whole point. No philosopher of science will tell you everything in science is 100%. They use something called the inference to the best explanation, not facts.
Given the name of the new
We'll speak later, So science says the inference to the best explanation rather than fact. Wait for me, yeah? Wait for me.
Okay, I'm done here. Can you go?
Then why are you heckling then?
hell with the Christians.
Then why are you heckling? If you're an atheist, then why are you heckling on the sidelines? Come in then.
Shows no mercy
Come
or care
forward.
for the Palestinians.
Come over here then.
Israelis bomb them to hell.
Come here
And
then.
the F-16.
Why are you being a coward? Are you a coward?
No, you just don't watch TV properly. You
Come here.
infidel.
Come
Jesus
here then.
is my savior. And
Come here.
Satan.
Come here. Why don't you tell me what Jesus is going to do when he returns?
He won't return.
To
That's Hadith bullshit.
those people that disagree with him. Don't you read Gospel of John? Where are you going?
I'm done, man.
No,
I'm
this-
gonna move on.
No,
I'm
it was
gonna
good.
move- I'm gonna do.
Look, listen. What I'm saying, I'll answer everything that you're saying, yeah? But the thing is, I want you to leave with something.
Yeah.
Like look at the progress we've already made, yeah? I've studied this stuff. You were saying that at the beginning you said science was a fact, yeah?
Yeah.
Thereafter, I gave you a few examples in which you said, no, science constantly improves, yeah?
Yeah,
Challenge,
yeah.
challenge your notions.
That's why you have university. That's why you got.
Challenge your notions. And then you ask me, I will let you finish, make your point, and then I will
Next
respond
time
to
we're
that.
going to talk about Islamic problems.
We can talk about whatever you want. I actually enjoy
Thank you very
speaking.
much.
I actually enjoy speaking to
I
you.
enjoy speaking to you. Thank you.
That's all right, take care. Yeah, Abdul Karim.
Let me end up.
What were you saying?
And I said to him,
Where are you going?
You're being used. All the men in Ukraine. They will not stop until every man in Ukraine is dead.
He's run off.
65-year-old.
Should have filmed that.
Fighting the front lines. They're not fit to fight.
Assalamu alaikum. Sorry?
The strongest army wears out the weakest army. They're doing
Have you heard about the conscription that they want to start doing in the UK?
What's that?
Conscription.
Oh, like to join the army?
Yeah. Sending people to Ukraine.
They're getting press games. The men in Ukraine are hiding in their houses while the women go out shopping. And of course they're going around the band like such a going right.